Hello and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and on this channel we get behind the story of a song with facts and secrets and information about the song itself. And today's featured song is Taylor Swift and Shake It Off. And this song was co-written by its producers Max Martin and Shellback, along with Taylor Swift herself, at the MXM studios in Stockholm and at the Conway Recording Studio in Los Angeles. And it was the lead single from the 1989 album, a collection of songs, which didn't have the familiar Taylor Swift Nashville country sound. You could argue this song marked Taylor's transition from country star to pop star, and the release of the song was a tease using social media quite effectively. In the weeks leading up to the release, she used Instagram, Yahoo, and the traditional old-fashioned method of television via the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show to promote a Yahoo live stream session which would take place on August the 18th, 2014 at 5 p.m, where she'd announce her upcoming album and premiered the lead single from it, Shake It Off. Taylor Swift is a songwriter who writes from personal experience. She's been writing all her life, so her songs reflect the various life stages she's been going through.
The vulnerability part, I think, is part of your job as a songwriter. And a big goal of mine over the years has always been to just not necessarily care what people are going to say about my private thoughts, just continue to be an open book and continue to be open to being hurt and being humiliated and let down and feeling all these things that I need to feel in order to write songs.
Though she was only in her mid-20s when she wrote this, the song's meaning shows a tough spirit on behalf of the songwriter. Other artists have written protest, or more accurately, I don't give a damn songs, usually about the media. But Shake It Off isn't heavy, it's light and almost frivolous, and has an obvious I don't care what you think attitude, which is exactly the point of it.
I think the best thing you could possibly do for your fans is surprise them. After putting out that many records, and I wanted to change things up sonically. I wanted to keep the lyrics and the things that I know my fans are very attached to intact, and stick with the idea of writing confessionally and writing kind of zinger lines, like lines they can quote and,
catchy lyrics.
Yeah, catchphrases. I wanted to stick with that, but then again, I wanted to switch up what you heard underneath it. I wanted to switch up the primary instruments you're hearing and change that entire landscape, and that's what I'm very proud of on this record.
You get the strong impression that Shake It Off is a favourite of hers, not just because it was commercially huge, and not just because it was a response to her critics so she could stick it to them, and not just because, with its cheerleader sound, it was a break from what she'd done before. All that, I'm sure, yes, but also because people could dance to it.
That's all I've ever wanted. I'm so excited because my friend Ed Sheeran, he texted me last night and he's like, I'm in a club at 3 in the morning and I've heard Shake It Off 3 different times. I've been here for 2 hours. And I was just like, that's my dream.
That's amazing.
That's my only dream. That's all I've ever wanted is for people to dance to one of my songs, because usually people just cry to my songs.
So what was the song all about? Let's take a look at the lyrics and let's remember some of the media stories about her at the time. Here's some lyrics I've lifted from the song, and they tell her story simply. How many times have we heard she can't keep a boyfriend? How many times have we heard she's like a black widow who, when you split up, will go and write a song about you that will be the cause of embarrassment and haunt you forever? Haters gonna hate. And why do they hate her? 8 words maybe, beginning with the letter J and ending in Y? Maybe? Definitely?
The message in the song is a problem I think we all deal with, and an issue we deal with on a daily basis, that we don't live just in a celebrity takedown culture, we live in a takedown culture. People will find anything about you and twist it to where it's weird or wrong or annoying or strange or bad. You have to not only live your life in spite of people who don't understand you, you have to have more fun than they do.
So the song was written by Taylor not only for herself as a stick-it-to-you response, but also for her fans, and anyone who might be feeling the same way. Why am I being picked on? I'm just being myself, so if you're going to pick on me for being me, then I'm just going to carry on being me more. The lyrics to the song really pick up on that theme. Haters are going to hate, because that's what they do. Really, they can't do much else. So let them carry on. It's not going to upset my day. I'm shaking it off. It's important to know what others think, but your priority is to be aware of who you actually are. The video portrays the apathetic message to critics, heartbreakers, and haters in a fun way. It was directed by Mark Romanek and shot over 3 days in June 2014 in Los Angeles. Taylor herself says she's not the greatest dancer, and it has a lot of professional dancers in it, so it's always a question of Taylor trying to keep up.
What I did to prepare for this shoot was I did a lot of running, which I hate, but I've been running a lot just so that I can do this amount of cardio, because Mark has been warning me for about a month now, like, you need to get ready for this. This is going to be intense. The biggest amount of workload is on you. You're going to be jumping around for 3 days straight. These are the longest shoot days I've ever done, so hopefully it's paid off.
So how did it do in the charts? Looking at the two big markets for pop music, the US and the UK, let's go with the US first. Well, first week on the chart, smashed it. Straight in at number 1. Stayed there 3 weeks, then knocked off by Meghan Trainor. Stayed at number 2 each week until November the 15th, when it returned to number 1 for another 2 weeks, until her follow-up, Blank Space, took over at the top. Went on to become the 13th bestseller in America for 2014. Since then, it's sold 5 million in the States alone, which includes digital downloads. That's a mighty seller. And in the UK charts, it was the 19th of October 2014 where it reached its peak at number 2. It had been hanging around the top 5 for the previous 9 weeks, so it was racking up the sales numbers. And since 2014, it sold 1.8 million in the UK. And at the end of that year, in the year-end chart, it was the 14th bestseller of the year. But remember how successful 1989 was. It sold 1 million in its first week in the US alone, and 10 million worldwide. And had the album not been so successful, you might argue the single would have sold more, even more than the 7 million worldwide it did go on to sell. So Shake It Off was a big commercial smash. It also went to number 1 in Canada, the Czech Republic, Hungary, New Zealand, Poland, Slovakia, and number 12 in Japan. I just thought I'd throw that one in. It was nominated for 3 Grammys, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance. And at the Billboard Awards, it won Top Streaming Video, plus a host of other minor wins and nominations along the way. You'd expect the critics to have had a go as well, but they didn't really. They saw the song for what it was, catchy, full of beat and clever catchphrases. Some applauded her move to pop, others didn't. And that was probably the extent of it, really, from the critics. Shake It Off is a great little pop song with a relevant message written by one of the most talented songwriters out there.
Writing Red, I was 21 and 22. And, you know, back then, I think my priorities were different. My priorities were, I was very enamored by romance and the idea that 24, at this point, I'm just really like, I just want to be with my friends and I want to make music and I want to play shows and I want to travel the world. And I want to define my life on my own terms. That's really that's my list of priorities now, which is different than it was a couple years ago. My life is really busy and really complicated, and it becomes kind of too chaotic when I involve someone else in it. And that's just something I've observed over time. If you give people one thing to talk about, they multiply it by 50 and they make all these sensationalized stories up about you. It's a lot easier to deal with kind of this whole chaotic thing where people are allowed to say whatever they want about you and call a newspaper and that it's a national news story. It's a lot easier to handle that with a sense of humor. And with Shake It Off, I kind of, you know, in hearing from my fans online, it's not just me who deals with gossip. It's not just me who deals with kind of how human beings treat each other on a day-to-day basis. It's happening to everyone everywhere. And so I figured, why not make a song that is about dealing with that, letting go of it, and comes from a place of strength and also makes people want to dance.
And her talent is matched by her success. Worldwide figures for her record sales, always a dynamic list, currently has Taylor Swift selling between 200 and 250 million records worldwide. That puts her in the Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Queen and Eagles league. Not bad at all. And this is one of the songs that put her there. Shake It Off from Taylor Swift. And that's it for another Talking Music, where every song has a story. Thanks for viewing this video. If you'd like to see more, then please just click the subscribe button. And by clicking the subscribe button that's on the screen now, you'll get access to many more songs and many more stories behind those songs. So go on, give the subscribe button a click, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. So till then, keep well, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.